Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Okay,
Hey, what's
so
up?
we're here for another Friday Night Live. I'm Dave, and Larry, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Everybody tuning in, glad you're here. No matter whose channel you're on, be really cool if you hit the like button. It's gonna be cool hanging out with these fellas and talking about the proper human diet and how our weeks have gone. How you doing,
Mm.
Sean?
Oh man, I'm doing awesome. It's good to see you guys. Always look forward to it. I expect tonight to be no different. It was great last week. It's gonna be great this week, and yeah, just talking about what's going on, and it's good to see you guys. It always lifts my spirit and see everybody in the crowd. Like you said, if anybody, if you're new, we want to welcome you, and just make yourself at home, learn, grow, ask questions, and you'll see it's one of the best communities you're gonna find. How you doing, Kip?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm glad to be in the chat with y'all again tonight. Like you said, man, it's uplifting. We just have a good time in these live streams each and every week, and we all look forward to it. And we take time out of our Friday nights to do it because that's how much it means to us. We have a good time, and I'm excited to see what everybody asks tonight and just chat with the guys. I mean, this group right here is a great group of men. Sometimes we have Cassie on here too, and that's fun. But anyway, how about you? How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm doing really well. Been a good week this week. Few interesting things have happened this week that made it really good. Um, which I can talk about throughout tonight's session. But yeah,
No.
great. So, just some housekeeping. We are more than happy to answer your questions as we go through tonight. But if you could do me a really big favor and please put a Q in front of your questions when you put them in. And that is going to help me to organize where the questions are. So, unfortunately, the software we're using has a little bit of a limitation in that we can't all tag the questions as they're coming through to put them into a kind of a holding area. So, it's up to the one person who's hosting. So, the queue will really help. So, thank you so much. So, just to get us started, I would like to ask the other panelists what they ate today. What was your menu today, Kip?
Well, I actually ate 3 meals today, where a lot of times it's 2 meals. So for breakfast, I ate probably 6 pieces of bacon, and then lunchtime I went to a restaurant with my coworkers, but I got just ribs with no sauce on them, and then for supper, I actually was on the way home and I was kind of busy, so I was like, I'm not even going to worry about cooking this evening. So I just got some hot dogs from the gas station for supper.
Oh,
What
nice,
about you, Sean?
nice.
Yeah, so I had scrambled eggs instead of my world famous video been coming for 4 months. Deviled eggs with butter. So scrambled eggs with salt this morning about I don't know 7 o'clock, and I had ribeye at I don't know probably it was probably about 4 o'clock whenever I ate it today. A little bit later after I got off work and so still and bacon. Eggs and bacon, eggs and ribeye with butter and salt, but just a little different times and the eggs were a little bit different. But that's just where I'm at, man. Usually that's every day for me. But butter, bacon, butter, eggs, and ribeyes. What about you,
Nice.
Larry? What'd you eat today, bud?
I actually didn't eat a whole lot today. I was busy doing. I had to finish up the video we got coming out tomorrow. Cassie does a carnivore pizza review, and it's been like a 3 day edit. And today I was finishing it up, and I just grabbed a can of tuna, cracked it open, ate it with a fork, and Cassie made chuck roast. So I probably had like half a pound, maybe an hour before the about an hour ago, and I probably have a little more when we're done here, uh, and just a bunch of water. That's about it. But Dave, you asked the question, what did you eat, bud?
Oh, it's actually Saturday morning here,
Right.
and so I haven't eaten yet. I've been busy messing around with my computer this morning and haven't been in the kitchen yet, and have to go shopping before I make anything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a late lunch today. Yeah, and it'll be the usual. It'll be ground beef and scrambled eggs.
Yeah,
So we have got. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, I can't remember the last time I had a can of tuna, like that. And
Mm.
I saw it in the cupboard and I was like, you know what, I'll have that. But it's not very often I have that. Not very much fat, but it did the job.
Mm.
I know the last time I had tuna, that October that I tried carnivore before I really started carnivore, when I was just testing it out, I would take cans of tuna and cans of chicken and dump them in a bowl and take mustard and hot sauce and salt and a little bit of lemon juice, and probably there's no telling what I mixed in with that. I think I even mixed honey in with it. I told you it was dirty way back then. And for that month, like, I would just make like this amazing tuna or chicken mix, and it was still so much drastically different from what I was eating already that I felt so good. I knew that's what I needed to do to change, man. But that's the
Better
last
than
time I had it. I think. Oh, yeah.
So I've got just a follow up question on this, Ben, as we're talking about fish related stuff. Yesterday I was on a live stream with Nicole and Chad, and we were talking about sardines. Where do you stand on sardines?
Me,
Okay.
Well, we know where Sean is.
Okay, so we know Sean's opinion on those. Larry, how about you?
Yeah, I got nothing against opening a can and having them once in a while. We actually included that in our top 10 countdown of budget friendly carnivore diet items, and I believe sardines was number 10. It was 9 or 10, but yeah, once in a while, I'm not really for a meal. I won't sit down and have 3 cans of them, but maybe every couple months crack one open and have a little. I know they're really good for you. um Kip, you ever jump on the sardine boat, brother?
Well, growing up in the South, like, it kind of cracks me up that people are kind of have this fear of sardines and other things that are in the can, like spam and Vienna sausages, potty meat, all that spam. There's tons of things that people are like scared of, but like in the South, that's the kind of stuff that people take whenever they're fishing or whenever they're going on some trip or going to the creek for the day. People take stuff like that, and it's just a normal thing. So it doesn't bother me at all. But as far as like the challenge goes, I don't know if I want to do like a challenge where I'm forcing myself to just eat little bitty fish every day. But I do like sardines, but I don't think I like them that much. There's other ways I can do this. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I don't mind sardines, but it's one of those things that if I eat it too much, I really start to feel a bit sick very quickly. It's like I could occasionally have a can of sardines, but I wouldn't want to be surviving on it. I wouldn't want to do a sardine fast. Mm.
I mean, I'm at the point I could eat 2 ribeyes, like fatty ribeyes. What you want me to do with a sardine? A can of, like, you better give me 10 cans of sardines if you want me to eat sardines for a meal. Maybe 15. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do with that little fish. I mean, we talking, I don't know how many of those things I could eat. That would be the challenge, finding a store that has enough cans.
Nice. So we've had some questions come through. Tina would like to know, does anyone have an opinion on how long a side of beef should be aged? What are your thoughts on this one, Sean?
I can age it about as I don't know, probably however long it takes me to walk from the grill to the table. That's about how long I can age it. I can't even let it rest. Like after you cook it, everybody talks about letting it rest 10 minutes after you grill it for optimal taste. I can't do it. I don't know. I've heard stuff like that, and at the butcher shop where I buy my steaks and all, they do age it there. Every once in a while you'll see it in the case and all. But I don't honestly know if I've even ever had any that's been aged like that. So other than that, I really don't have an opinion. I mean,
Larry,
sorry.
how about you?
Oh yeah, I'll
You
fire it
asking
up.
me or Larry?
Yeah, we should have Cassie in here to answer this one. She'd have a little more knowledge than me. I have no idea, but I do know for Father's Day, was it 2 years ago? My son got me an aged, real thick cut tomahawk ribeye, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. You know, that aging process. So that's the only one I've ever had, but I have no idea how long it should be aged for. So, Kip, you got any knowledge about that?
Um, there's different restaurants that age their beef at different amounts of times, and usually the longer it's aged, the more you end up paying for it. It's more of like an exotic thing. There's even a place somewhere, I can't remember where, but they aged their beef 200 days. And you would think, wow, that's completely ruined, but they've got it down to a science. But now I wouldn't recommend you throwing it in your refrigerator and trying to age it for 200 days. You better know what you're doing. But it all boils down to the flavor you're looking for. When you age it, usually it'll have a more nutty taste to it, almost like it's like come from a nut tree a little bit. It's got a different taste to it, and it also changes the texture a little bit. But it's all about preference. But any restaurant you go to ages it to at some point. Some places like 10 days, some places 20, 15 days, 30. It just really depends on the place. You can look up Texas Roadhouse and see how long they age their steaks before you eat it, but they actually are aged.
Hmm. And you know, for me, I've got absolutely no idea. I just if it looks like a steak or it looks like ground beef or whatever it is, I just eat it. That's aged or not aged. Yeah, no opinion one way or the other from me. Um, so Amber and Dan's Carnivore Life says, loving the hats. Dave's looks like he's about to go dancing. Larry, youth coach. Sean, fishing. Kip just came in from off the ranch. Nice. Nice.
It was a last second thing, right?
Yeah. The last. So, Aid had commented in the chat on my channel that he was wondering what kind of hat that I was going to put on, and so we just decided at the last second we'd all chuck a hat on. So, TJ Riley asks, why do some carnivores like Dr. Chafee shun milk so much? That's a good question. I'm not sure why he does in particular, but Kip, do you have any thoughts on why people shun milk so much?
Well, I just cut out milk personally because I would want to drink it all the time, but I didn't do tons and tons of research on milk. But I know that milk tastes amazing. So especially whole milk or even raw cow's milk, it tastes great. But for me, it's one of those things I would want it all the time. And now if I taste milk, I taste a sweetness in it. So it's got to be something to do with the sugar probably, or the lactose or something. But for me, it's better to just not have milk. Anybody else got anything they want to add on that?
I'll say I totally agree with you about the sweet taste. I remember when Cassie and I were on the keto diet for probably a good 4 months, and I hadn't touched any milk. And I love milk, and I had some whole milk, and I literally spit it out in the sink. It tasted like sugar water, and it really blew me away. It was really eye opening. But I think a lot of people stay away from it, especially people are just staying away from dairy. It can cause weight loss stalls and inflammation in some people. But as far as store bought milk, the sugar, I mean, there's a lot of sugar in it, so you definitely don't want to be putting that in if you're trying to be on a strict carnivore diet. I've never actually had, I don't believe, raw milk. good raw milk. So I know there's some people in the space I watch, like Lily Kane. She drinks raw milk, her and her husband. So, but I think the main thing is people trying to avoid dairy in general. But Dave, you got anything, or Sean? Who am I
Sean?
passing it to?
Well, I mean, the thing is, whenever I, watching Dr. Barry and listening to him for quite a while, and still do, obviously, but he talks about, so what is milk primarily for? Milk is for the offspring of that species to give to a child who can't have meat yet, so that they can get the nutrients that they need, and it fattens them up and grow for them to grow. And that's the opposite of what I wanted to do. I wanted to grow, but I didn't want to fatten up. And so it's got casein and lactose in it, and those are two ingredients that if you're diabetic, it's going to mess with your sugar. If you want to do dairy, stay on the ghee butter side of dairy. It's 80% fat, 20% milk. Well, not ghee, but butter is 20% left for the milk particles that are left in it. Ghee is clarified, obviously. All the milk particles are gone out of it. But on the other side, which is the closer to milk side, you've still got the lactose, the casein, and everything else inside of it that can stall your progress, mess with your insulin, raise your blood sugar, and it's just not really good for. Now, for if you're a kid, no big deal. It's not going to hurt you as bad. But if you're a type 2 diabetic that was 457 pounds and you're trying to reverse your type 2 diabetes and drop some weight, then it's going to work against you. So, and anytime you keep, even though it is an animal product, you don't want to keep introducing those sweet things into your taste system so that it makes you crave other stuff. And that's just how I've looked at it. Dave, you got anything about that, man?
Yeah, I personally haven't had milk for years now, and it was just a decision I made because coming to Japan, the milk is worse quality than it is even back in Australia, so I just cut it out altogether. But I think, yeah, people shun it so much because dairy can be something that causes allergies with people or inflammation, and also, yeah, the sugar side of things. So, yeah. Question for Sean from Nancy. When will we see that world famous deviled egg video, Sean?
It's my arch nemesis. I've got the footage done. I keep saying it, I swear. I almost had it done before I had my catastrophe happen with all my data. I know that's not what everybody wants to hear, but the video footage is there. All I have to do is the audio stuff, and once I get that figured out, I will have it out. It's one thing that it's been a priority of mine for like 4 months. I just, for whatever reason, every time I get to working on it, something happens and I never get it finished. But I will. I promise. I need somebody to come keep me on point and on task with it soon.
Nice. Just a quick one from Salty Texas Ranger. 98 days carnivore, 306 pounds down to 250 pounds so far.
Yeah.
Nice
That's
work. Awesome.
Good job.
Very
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay. And we have a question from Jiffy. Hello, guys. Love the hats, caps. Is this a theme tonight? I always try to watch you all on Friday nights. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it was just a last minute thing. Yeah, we just last minute we decided let's put a cap on or a hat. So, yeah. So this is actually a perfect time to mention we've got 218 people in the live at the moment, which is awesome. You can help us increase that number by doing something that takes you less than a second, which is just smashing the like button. So whoever's channel you're on right now, if you could smash the like button, and that will tell YouTube to go out and find more people to bring in. And that would be much appreciated because that's a better discussion for everyone, the more people we have in here. All right. Thank you so much for that, guys. So we have a question for Kipp. Kip, I'm looking for an electric smoker because I live in an apartment and can't have fire. Can you recommend, please? I'm a broke girl, so price is an issue.
Electric smokers is one of the only types of smokers that I don't have much knowledge about, because that's like my least favorite way of smoking meat. But I have seen on YouTube, I've seen some people use things like Master Built electric smokers, and one other brand I can't remember right offhand. But honestly, electric smokers, they're usually not super expensive. So just find one that works. And I'm not saying it's going to work for 10 years, but just find you one that you think looks pretty decent. And like, there's not like a lot of high end electric smokers. So just find you one that fits in your budget and you should be fine. Don't worry about it too much.
Thank you very much. Okay, sorry, I'm just taking a couple of questions here. So we have super chat come through from Monkey Monkey. Thank you very much, Monkey Monkey. And you've subsequently put the question here. I did that wrong. I wanted to include a question. I'm going to repeat what I wanted to write in the normal chat. All right. So I'm waiting for it. I will star your question when it comes through, Monkey Monkey. And thank you very much for that super chat. Okay, and Cowboy Rameses 2. Kip, what kind of hat do you wear? Mine is a Resistol quarter-house straw hat. It has a 6-inch crown and a 4-inch brim.
Mine is a Stetson. It's a Skyline by Stetson, so you can just look up Stetson Skyline, and they got some different colors.
Okay, Kevin. Those of you that have done red meat and water only and then carnivore, did the red meat and water make you feel better or get rid of issues that regular carnivore didn't? Has anyone here done lion?
For 3 days.
And what was your experience?
I mean, I just couldn't give up the coffee. That's the reason. But I pretty much stuck to beef only. I was drinking coffee though. But I mean, the beef butter, bacon, and egg challenge, for a long period of time, I was just eating ground beef in a bowl. I lost my taste for eggs. I might have had bacon twice a week. For a long time, it was just ground beef, salt, and butter. And I got to tell you, that I felt great. So there's something too. Cassie and I both think that the optimal human diet, the proper human diet, is beef and salt. Can we do that and sustain it right now? We've tried, like I said, give up the coffee, but gosh, if you can get there and cut out everything else and just do beef, I would definitely say go for it. See how you feel. Start adding stuff back in, after you go 30, 60 days, see how chicken affects you, see how fish affects you. But from everybody we've talked to and from the time we did eat, mainly beef, felt great. What about you, Sean? I mean, you eat a lot of beef.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, other than the adding the coffee back in after 5 months, I've done beef, butter, bacon, and eggs since last June. So it's been over a year now. I have done 3 weeks, 2 different times of lion, one time without coffee and one time with coffee. The first time I was, I just I did not feel better myself. I think it was because of the way that I was doing it. I was doing mostly ground beef instead of steaks then. And like I was doing them on a charcoal Weber grill. And it was cooking a lot of the fat out of the ground beef. And so what I was eating was mostly just protein. And I've started getting irate easily, and like my body stopped feeling as good. I stopped thinking as clear, whatever, my energy level shrunk. So after about 3 weeks, I was like, heck with this, I'm done, back to what was working. And that was that for me. I tried it again. What was it? April, May, something like that. I did it for 3 weeks. I was having coffee at that time. I felt okay, but like I wanted my eggs, and I think it was just more that I know what works for me. I found my sweet spot, what I like, not just what gives me the benefits that I'm trying to get out of it, what makes me feel optimal. Like I can tell when I have other stuff. I have had chicken wings. I have had other carnivore foods while I was on eating carnivore, beef, butter, bacon, and whatever. I know how I feel, and it doesn't take very much for me to be able to tell slight differences whenever I eat something that's different. I haven't found anything that makes me feel like ribeyes, butter, and eggs, and salt, and all these addicting carbonated waters. But so I guess, long story short, yeah, it didn't make me feel better. I didn't like it. I don't know that I'll ever try it again. Maybe, who knows? What about you?
Have you tried Kipp?
I haven't tried just red meat and water, but I do eat a lot of red meat and I enjoy it. And I've actually been talking to some people on my channel recently, and I've thought about trying out the Lion Diet and just see. But the thing that gets me is like shrimp, like or seafood. Like I love like shrimp, I love oysters, I love scallops, a bunch of different seafood, and that would be the hard part for me is that because I mean I don't have to have the bacon and I don't have to have the eggs, but like I would probably have to modify it to have the seafood because I just love it. What about you, Larry? If you hadn't answered,
I answered, but I do want to say, yeah, that's a great thing about carnivore. You know, you customize it. So, I mean, Kip, has all his beef and then he throws some shrimp in there and some oysters. Life is good. Dave?
Yeah, for me, I just can't. I couldn't do it. I don't think because I can't give up eggs. I love eggs. Eggs are this great filler for me. Like when you're eating a regular diet, your mashed potatoes, or your rice, or your bread is like the filler of your meal. And I feel like eggs kind of take the place of that when you're doing carnivore. So yeah, I don't.
Amen.
That's a good point.
So just wanted to show investigator. I love carnivore. Lost 30 kilos in 6 months. That's awesome. That's about 66 pounds. Nice
Congrats.
work.
Yeah, good job, man.
Feeling better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very nice.
that's awesome.
All right, and Monkey is back with their question. Just a second. Here we go. Okay. What was the very first thing you noticed besides weight that changed? Mine was gingivitis. Oh, this is a very, I like this question. This is interesting. All right, Sean, how about you? What was the first thing that you noticed besides weight?
Besides weight, I don't know if it was the energy or the my mental health was clearing up. Probably a little bit of both around the same time, about a month and a half in. But I'm telling you right now, it's like I didn't realize it until I didn't realize it at all. Like whenever you spend that long depressed, isolated with no energy, no direction, no motivation, nothing. Yeah, it was like all of a sudden I'm like, man, we got a challenge to do, and I'm about to go do this, and I'm about to go outside and do that. Whenever before it was, I'm gonna get up, go to the bathroom, and come back and take a nap. So, absolutely, I don't know which one it was, but the energy and the mental health being, my mind getting cleared up, and the brain fog being lifted, and all the, I don't know, the chains was dropped. Larry, what about you? Oh, sorry. Kip, go ahead, buddy.
Say real quick that for me, I noticed within the first week or two, I was waking up, and whenever I would wake up, my shoulder that had been hurting for 3 or 4 years, it just stopped hurting. And like it almost seems like it just instantly stopped because it had been aching and aching and aching, and I had seen orthopedic specialists and all kind of stuff, and they were telling me eventually you're going to need a replacement and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying that I might not never need any of that stuff, but within like a couple weeks time, that pain was pretty much gone, and I'm getting function back in my shoulder. I can use it. I used to pick up a water bottle like this right here and do like that just to drink water because it hurt so bad. and I didn't have the right movement in it, but now I can use it like a shoulder's supposed to be used. So it was that for me. What about you, Larry?
Uh, there's a couple things because I got, I also, was observing Cassie uh, at the time. So as far as Cassie goes, it's kind of like the same thing Sean was saying. I saw in her a huge change in her mental health. We had fallen off the diet. We gained 100 pounds combined while we were on YouTube. And when we recommitted on day 17, I did a video on the porch. She said she wouldn't come on camera for like another month. I mean, she was just in such a dark place. And she ended up coming out on that video. And I'm glad she did because you can see the state she was in. And I did think it was day 91. I did a video showing the stark contrast and how much she had improved. It's like she was a completely different person in front of the camera and off the camera too. I mean, she was just like fully recovered from a deep, dark depression in a matter of 90 days on the carnivore diet. But as far as I go, the biggest change was definitely my inflammation. When I was at my heaviest, I could no longer play the guitar at all. I've highlighted that a couple times. My hand, after like 5 minutes, would go completely numb, my fret hand. And it was after about 30 days, I could start picking away and playing some Metallica. And I mean, that was a huge deal for me. If you love to play an instrument, to be able to pick it up, I felt handicapped. I couldn't play anymore. So that was probably for sure the biggest thing I noticed with me, other than the weight loss, was the reduced inflammation. Uh, Pretty much in my entire body, but especially my hands. And I heard a lot of people say that have arthritis and problems with their hands, that there's a huge improvement pretty quickly. So, Dave.
For me, I think it's hard to say exactly because everything is just so gradual and suddenly it's like you have this thing that is improved, like suddenly you don't have the sensitive gums or whatever it happens to be. And but looking back, the fastest thing other than weight loss, so I guess it would be the first thing I noticed, was improved sleep. That definitely that improves. And from people I've spoken to, I find that's one of the very first things that many people do notice is that the sleep really does improve very quickly. And so that was the one for me. But yeah, monkey, I'm very happy to hear about the improvements with gingivitis, because that's horrible. And
Mm.
I remember myself having to, like, Kip reminded me because of the way he was drinking there like that. I remember myself, when I was drinking something that was even slightly cold, I would be like thinking, how am I going to put this in my mouth without hurting myself, because it was so sensitive. So yeah, congratulations on that. Um, Okay, we have got a lot of chatter, and we've got 251 people in the live. Thank you so much, everyone, and anyone that's tuned in from when I last mentioned this. If you could smash the like button, that would be much appreciated, guys. That helps to bring more people into the live. And we've got a super chat here from Kevin. Kevin asked us before about the lion, asked us the lion question before. So thanks for answering my lion question. I may try it for a couple of weeks, then go from there. BBBE sounds like something I may try first. Thank you very much for that super chat, Kevin. Okay, so we have lots of questions here from... Oh, I've already done the one about Kipp's hat. Hang on a second. Okay, AP. How have you dealt with oxalate dumping, and what were your symptoms? Kipp, any thoughts on oxalate dumping?
I hadn't even I hadn't even thought about it for a second. So who wants to answer that?
The only thing I had happen with me was on the back of my calves, I had what looked like a rash, and it lasted for maybe 2 weeks. I talked a little bit about when it was going on the channel, but and it cleared up, and Cassie was either like, that's either poison ivy or poison oak from being out in the woods, or I was, or dumping oxalate. So, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe a few blotches on my face early on, but how about you, Sean? Any symptoms?
Yeah, so whenever I first went carnivore back in April for a little while, I did have some of the red splotches that came up on my legs, and I think maybe I had some across my stomach. They weren't extremely bad. They weren't, they were itchy, almost like I'd got into some poison oak or something like that. I just continued, like I would drink water. Me and my wife did make some like homemade soap, like without the, which we still would be making it if I just order the stuff. But there again, one more thing I got to do. With lye and whatnot, you can find the recipes to make it all over the place, but it doesn't have like your normal fragrances and all the ingredients that normal store-bought soap has. I like it a lot better. It was much more moisturizing, and after I started using that and drinking water and just stuck with my way of eating, it went away on its own after a little while. But again, I have seen some people that had it, like it looked like anaphylaxis had broke them out all over their face and stuff, and so I guess you have it at different varying degrees, but mine wasn't really bad for really long, probably about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, something like that, and it went away.
Nice. I personally haven't experienced anything, so I've been lucky in that regard to escape oxalate dumping, as far as I'm aware. So what's this one? Here we go. Jasmine, have you heard of the whoosh effect? If so, can you explain it? Loving the hats. The whoosh effect. I have no idea what the whoosh effect is. Larry, have you heard of the whoosh effect?
Not as far as carnivore go. Maybe when you're editing a video, and it slides across, and you do the sound effect, maybe. But as far as the diet goes, no, I haven't heard anything. Kip, you heard of the whoosh effect?
No, I haven't, but I'm pretty sure Sean has. What about you, Sean?
You crazy. I just Googled it. So, a term for the noticeable weight loss that some people report while following a low-carb diet such as the keto diet. The whoosh effect. That's pretty cool. I like that.
So what is that from dumping all, when you start urinating a lot? Is that, and you drop a dramatic amount of weight pretty quickly? Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah, some people believe that the whoosh effect happens when fat cells lose fat and fill with water. Researchers have not scientifically proven the whoosh effect, however. I think that, honestly, I think that's really cool. I think they should look into it. They're going to find that you give yourself the proper human diet, the nutrition that we were designed to eat, that our body's required to do what it performs optimally doing, and it releases all the toxic junk that we've been shoving down our throats for so many years. It's amazing. But I think that's cool. Yeah. Thank you.
You were quick on that Google, man. No wonder you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no wonder you did so well on our trivia.
That's right. Come on now.
Dave will be on Tuesday. We'll see how he does.
That's what's up. Be ready, Dave. He gonna try to sneak one on you. No,
I don't know if y'all seen it, but I posted a video today, and in the video, because the video before I had been like complaining a little bit, I was just kind of in my own head. And so today when I posted a video, there was a little clip in there where I was drinking out of a baby bottle, and I was like apologizing or whatever. And a lot of people got a kick out of it or whatever. You just have to watch the video. Yeah, go watch my video, y'all.
So that's what John's referring to here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, BodXO. I've been on 95% carnivore for only a month now. I've gone from 185 pounds at 22% body fat to 85 pounds at 18% body fat. Is it normal just gain muscle and lose fat without working out? I would say yes, it is normal. Anyone else have thoughts?
Uh, Body recomposition's a real thing. I mean, if 185 pounds is close to where your body's optimal and where you're supposed to be, you're going to drop fat, develop muscle, and have body recomposition. And congratulations, that's amazing. I mean, there's nothing slack about that. Keep pushing forward. That's all I got to say. Larry, you got anything?
No, I mean you pretty much said it all, and yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. I know you're feeling better. Kip?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just going to add that old Dr. Chafee, he don't hardly never work out, but he's a Brahma bull. If you don't believe me, go push him.
Nice. Okay, Carnivore RN. What is the longest stall, weight loss, or other progress you'll have had, and what do you think finally broke it? Who wants to go first with this one? Okay, Larry.
I basically Ketovore RN. I think you know this, but for me, it's about a year. I mean, my weight fluctuated anywhere from 9 to 13 pounds for a year, and that's after losing about 80 pounds very quickly. And there's a number of reasons for it. This isn't a plug, but we did a video like 3 weeks ago. It's 7 mistakes we made, and I made a few of them. Under eating, not getting enough sleep, too much dairy. But the way I broke it, and I believe I broke it now, is I upped the fat, forced myself to eat 2 meals a day because I fell into, so did Cassie, this habit of under eating to where we were listening to our hunger signals, and we got down to 1 meal a day without even trying. We'd go a week or two just eating a big bowl of ground beef, once a day. And, you would think we'd be burning the fat on our body, I mean, and we weren't hungry. So, but that wasn't the case. Realized that, you hear people talk about their macros and you hit a stall, you start tweaking things. And we knew that, but we didn't have the discipline to actually follow through with it. Your life's busy. It's like you're not hungry. It's hard to force a second meal. But we did that for a couple weeks, and then it just kind of became second nature now. Now I'm craving 2 meals a day, and I just get a lot of fat, and that seemed to break my stall. Sean, I don't think you've ever hit a stall, have you, brother?
Well, it depends on what we're talking about because I mean, you said it had to do. Nevertheless, I digress. I spent 20 years of my life stalling. So the last year and 2 months, it's amazing. But I did see the month of September and the month of February, my weight loss definitely stalled, and I lost less than I lost on average every other month. And basically it usually coincided with when I changed the way that I was eating, or had another change in lifestyle. So like when I went back to work, I saw the progress slow down. When I tried the Lion Diet, even though it was a stricter form of what I was doing, I saw it stall out and slow down and stall out a little bit, which just reinforces the idea. And even going to the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs from Carnivore, I saw it slow down a little bit early on. It just reinforces to me that no matter what you do, it's going to affect your body in some way. Even if it's getting stricter, there's a time for adjustment. Even if it's, no matter what that is. So, I mean, I really didn't do a whole lot other than keep going back to what was most effective and what felt the best and was working the way that I wanted to work, and reevaluating.
I'd say for me, this past month, I kept feeling like Well, the other day I weighed and I had only lost 6 pounds. And I hate saying only lost 6 pounds because I need to be appreciative of that. Because I mean, I could have gained 6 pounds. And, and for a lot of people, 6 pounds would be a lot of weight. But whenever you weigh as much as I do, 6 pounds isn't a lot. But a lot of people reminded me that, hey, even though it was 6 pounds, like you were probably gaining muscle in the process. So I'm having to look at that as well because, I've been jogging a little bit and walking and things like that. And I do feel like I'm getting stronger. So sometimes, but even whenever you don't, the scale doesn't drop. Sometimes your body could just be, you could be gaining muscle. You could be, sometimes a stall's a good thing, because there's something going on in your body or whatever, and you're healing some things. So I just, whenever I'm having a slow month like that, I just have to remind myself to just hang on and do what you know you need to do.
Nice. We've got one here from Rick, the 40-year carnivore. Do you know of any other carnivore YouTuber besides Mike who is on carnivore to gain weight? Yeah, I only know of Mike and yourself, Rick, that have kind of talked about wanting to gain weight. Guys, you heard of anyone? No.
No.
I did hear somebody, but I can't remember.
I mean, I've spoken to I've spoken to people that were previously anorexic that are using carnivore obviously to get healthier and to put on weight. But that's probably a little bit different from what you're talking about here, Rick. So unfortunately, yeah, no. Okay, so Beep and Fat. Going on vacation to visit family. Will do my best to do carnivore. Any advice as to get myself quickly back to carnivore afterwards? Oh, interesting question. Kipp, any ideas?
Well, I mean, this year was the first time I ever went on vacation where I stayed carnivore. So, I mean, it can be done. I mean, I'm not against people that decide they're going to take so many days off and do something. Because if you have one bad week in a whole year, I don't think it's going to kill you. But if you're anything like me that has struggled with food addiction and struggled with all that stuff, like you got to be careful, like going off plan or whatever, because I mean it can wreck you. So I mean, just do what you can. Research ahead of time if you're going to stay carnivore, and plan your meals out the best you can. And I mean, even if you go to restaurants, if you're going, like, not going on a cruise or something, when you go to restaurants, you can find ways in a lot of restaurants to make it carnivore. You just got to put the work in. Anybody else?
Yeah, I would say, well, Cassie's going on vacation like a week and a half down to Florida with her daughter, and she plans on having, like, she's been dying for some avocado. She might have a couple of ketovore meals. Um, where more app, I wouldn't do that. I mean, as far as I go, but you say going on vacation to visit family. Well, do my best to do carnivore. That it comes down to a choice. Are you going to stick to it or not? And it's tough, when you're around family. The last time we went up north, it was very difficult, but we got through it and we just kept full. We always had some bacon cooked up, because family starts breaking out dinner rolls and all this stuff that you used to just love, and it can be tempting. So we just stayed full pretty much the whole time we were there on bacon. So, but if you do fall and you come back, there's no magic pill to get back on quickly. Just start. Sean.
Yeah, I haven't been on vacation in so long. I forgot about vacation. Like, I don't remember what that even is. But as far I didn't work for 3 years. I wouldn't call it a vacation though, unless it was to like Hades or something. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think like I would just do whatever you're doing now throughout the whole time. Just be you. Just be my best advice. That's the best way to get back. don't change who you are. I mean, if you have something that's not on your plan, everybody slips, everybody messes up, but I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it like I'm just gonna go change and just whatever, have all this like, you're not gonna see me having Lucky Charms and freaking Twinkies and whatever on vacation, because I don't do that here. So I mean, just the easiest way to continue doing something that is good for you is just to keep doing it. So I would just do whatever you're doing now whenever you go on vacation, and when you get back, whatever. I mean, I don't think you're a bad person. I don't think anybody is. I don't think if you mess up, you're a bad person whatsoever. I mess up, I just get back on the plan, and that's the best way to stay on plan, is just keep doing what you set your mind to do. So that's the only thing I had to say about that.
Can I add something to that? Beef and fat. I just want to say that you might want to keep this in mind too, because this happened to Cassie and I our first year on the carnivore diet. We went on vacation. We spent a lot of money, and it was up in North Carolina, but we went off the diet. And the next like 3 or 4 days, we felt horrible while we were on vacation. We had no energy to do anything. And it was a real shame. It kind of ruined our time eating, back to the standard American diet. So you might want to keep that in mind too. I don't know where you're going on vacation and stuff, but when you're coming off a strict carnivore diet and you dive back into carb land, you can feel like crap pretty quickly. So might keep that in mind. Dave?
Yeah, for me, knowing myself, I would do as much as I possibly could to avoid going off carnivore while I was on holiday, because I know what I'm like. It's just, one little thing and it just snowballs from there. But if you do go off, and you need to get back on quickly afterwards, I would say just, I guess, following what Sean said, be yourself, just do your best and get back on the wagon if you fall off again, and just keep getting back on the wagon. And eventually, you'll stay on it, would be my advice. Okay, so we've got a lot of questions piling up here, and we've got an interesting one from Running Tab 12. Do any of you sneak alcohol? Sean?
No, I haven't had alcohol in quite a few years. Like more than 3 or 4.
I haven't in probably 6 or 7 years. What about you, Larry?
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't had a drink in 8 years, and glory to God. Dave?
Wow, I'm a lightweight compared to you guys. It's only been 14 months for me, but
that's awesome.
I would never ever sneak alcohol, because again, I know myself and I know it's a slippery slope. So yeah, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic, I think.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I mean, I had a problem with it too. So I'm an addict, and addicts don't moderate.
Yeah, the moderation is not in our dictionary. Yeah. So overcoming carbs. Question: any odd changes since going carnivore? I have had a reduction of earwax production and tartar teeth staining reduction. Oh, interesting. Larry, any odd changes since going carnivore?
My toenails, which were extremely nasty after 10 years of hard drinking, have improved probably 60%. I mean, quite a bit. And as far as your tartar goes and teeth staining, I wear prosthetics, but the last time I went to the dentist to have my dentures refitted, he couldn't believe how clean they were. He was like, "What are you doing? These look brand new." And I told him, and he was blown away. But that's really it as far as kind of oddities. There's probably a couple other things I could think of. The numbness in my toes, because I had neuropathy from all the years of drinking has improved quite a bit. They're still numb, but the pain has subsided. They used to burn and tingle really bad, like when your arm falls asleep, and it was really annoying. And that's pretty much gone. Like I said, they're still numb, but they're not. They're not giving me discomfort. On an hourly basis. So, Kipp.
I would say that I had a hemorrhoid playing peekaboo, and
What was his
I'm
name?
done.
Harry.
Harry the
the
hemorrhoid.
Harry. Yeah, and my friend, I had a friend who had hers named Harry too, and I named mine after hers. And so, anyway, I had a hemorrhoid named Harry, and he went away once I started the carnivore diet. What about you, Sean?
Hold on, time out, back up, son. Listen, you telling me you and your friends sit around and talk about y'all's hemorrhoids like we do? This ain't the first group of people you sat around and talked about your hemorrhoids with?
No. I mean, we're cool with it down here.
That's what I'm talking about. I was gonna come check y'all out in Alabama. I'm starting to get worried about y'all down there. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I wore deodorant, and that may sound crazy to some of y'all, but honestly, in South Carolina in the summertime, not wearing deodorant, it would be a no-no most of the time. I still put cologne on because I like to smell good. I put cologne on even though I work remote and nobody's here but my wife and kids to smell me. I'm usually here at the house by myself all day and put cologne on in the mornings just because I like to smell good. But I haven't had to wear any deodorant even going outside or whatever in a long time. Even when I was walking, it didn't put off that pungent odor.
Yeah, I'm similar to Sean in that regard. Yeah, I almost forget to put on deodorant or antiperspirant now, and I mean, it's humid as anywhere on earth here at the moment in Japan, and I can be out walking, and I don't feel like there's not the same kind of sweating and body odor that would have been before. The other thing is toothbrushing. I 100% forget to brush my teeth in the morning all the time now, because I don't have a feeling of a need to do it anymore. You don't have that furry feeling on your teeth anymore. So even after being asleep and whatever, I still don't have that feeling in my mouth. So that was kind of weird. Okay, so semi-retired Bob wants to know, what's it take to get in on this party?
I
Just
know,
being
right?
Off work on a Friday whenever we do the chat.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
What? Time out. He did send me an email saying he was available, so we definitely can get semi-retired Bob in here. So hopefully, we'll plan it and see what we can make happen. Definitely
Nice.
get you on. Bob's good
Nice.
people. I mean, there's a lot of people I'd like to have. But I told Joff that I was going to try to get him on tonight. If we hadn't already had the thumbnail made and sent out and the links already out, I would have tried to invite and get him on, because it's good people. So I mean, I'm not against getting people on. I just like to have it scheduled beforehand. I mean, it's good stuff, good people, good time, good hanging out. I'm just lucky that we're just lucky that we've had Kipp. What was it, 4 or 5 weeks in a row now? I feel like we've graduated to the next level, my friend. This dude's he's got to be you got to be one of the funniest people I've ever hung out with. Like, I don't know, have you always been like that? Have you always been a life of the
My
party?
family, they think I am. They think I'm crazy, and they laugh at stuff that I say all the time. And a lot of times, I don't even try to be that way. It just comes out like that.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
natural.
I reckon you'd be a pretty good stand-up comedian, Kipp. I reckon that's your calling.
I should just change careers tomorrow.
Right.
Northern Stitcher question: anyone notice skin texture changing? I no longer need to use lotion on my hands, and also hangnails have disappeared and nails growing like crazy. Anyone notice skin changes or nail changes?
Yeah, that's one of the first things my wife mentioned to me whenever I went carnivore. She's like, "Your skin is glistening," like because I would sit outside on the swing in the evenings in the sun, and like it really. I mean, I've always had kind of a darker complexion. That's about what I look like year round. Um, but she said it was just glistening compared to the paleness and just whatever that I had before. So my hair grows like crazy. If I don't shave my head every 2 or 3 days, I will have crazy hair. Not whatever. I digress at that, but the toenail thing, that's another thing I noticed as well. What about you, Larry? You noticed any
Yeah.
skin texture?
Well, I mentioned my toenails, and I talked about this when Chafee was on with us. The rosacea has really improved on the carnivore diet from my drinking days. But Cassie's skin has it just looks, I mean, 1,000 times better. You know, she's got that Italian blood in her, but she's always tanned real nicely. But like I said, go back to day 17, and where she is now, she was pale, she was white, pasty, and now she just, I mean, she glows. So huge difference there. Kip,
Well, I mean, I'm not no chick, so I don't be keeping no close eye on my complexion and everything. But I have noticed from getting out and walking and things like that, because whenever Sean knows, whenever you're almost 500 pounds, you hide from the sun. You stay inside. You're not trying to overheat. You're on the couch, things like that. Especially living in the South like we are, it's really hot down here. So, I mean, I have noticed it since I've been out walking, so I can't tell if it's just from carnivore or just because carnivore actually has me wanting to get out in the sun. But yeah, I have noticed that I'm getting darker.
Hmm. And from my side, the skin around here has cleared up a lot. I used to have red marks under my eyes, and that's completely cleared up. So yeah. Okay. We've got a question to Kip from Marv to Kip. Trainer said cardio is to improve heart and gives a dopamine boost to mood, but to work through a stall, I need to build muscle. So, like Dr. Berry says, go out and play and lift heavy things.
I think they want. I think they're telling me that I need to get off my fat butt and go to the gym. Like that's what it sounds like. That's what I'm picking up. So I guess I need to start going to the. I need to start going to the gym and start pumping that iron, and maybe that'll make them happy. Because I mean, I've been walking and jogging, but I don't do any strength training. But I will tell you this: whenever you weigh as much as I do and you start jogging, it feels like you're at the gym. Okay, because that's like 390 pounds bouncing up and down, and so it feels like a good workout.
Nice. Okay.
Did they just tell you to go lift weights? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dave. Did they just get on here and tell you you need to take your butt to the gym? Is that what they just said? Oh my goodness, my dude's lost 100 pounds in like 5 months. He's out making videos running. Go to the gym, Kip.
Man.
You need to go to the gym. That 100 pounds ain't enough, man. Come on, maybe you can lose 2. Oh, come on now. I ain't in the gym either. Should I go?
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, honestly, on carnivore, I'm not sure that you even need to be in the gym.
No, I lost 269 pounds and ain't seen a gym in 25 years.
Yeah. So
I did walk.
Did you? Oh yeah, you got the walking videos, right? But I mean, walking's good enough exercise, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vinny G is asking, do you sleep better and do you get up to pee in the middle of the night? I'm sleeping so much better and straight through the night now. Okay, Sean, do you sleep better?
Oh, 100% better. Got rid of the sleep apnea and everything. It's not even a close second. The first thing I noticed was I started dreaming again. Like, and I'm talking about dreams, like the kind that you want to have, not not nightmares. I used to have nightmares, dreams, rehashing stuff. But I had like dreams, normal people dreams, again, when I went carnivore. I feel rested when I get up in the mornings. Do I get up in the middle of the night and have to go to the bathroom? Only if I drink one of these huge bottles directly before I go to bed. If I drink too much water, I usually do have to get up at some point in the middle of the night. Usually about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but it's not close to what it was before I changed the way I was eating. I used to get up 3 and 4 times a night, and have to go to the restroom. What about you, Kip?
Um, I do sleep better on carnivore, and not only sleep better, I can sleep in different positions because I used to only sleep on my stomach. Now I can sleep on my
I got
side, I can sleep on my back, I can sleep different ways. And I mean, I don't get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, but whenever I get up in the morning, I am in a hurry to get up and go. But I mean, sometimes, like if Sean said, if I drink a bunch of stuff before I go to bed, I might wake up in the middle of the night, but usually I can go all night. What about you, Larry?
Yeah, I say if I stay away from the afternoon coffee, I sleep amazing. I found that when I'm in a state of ketosis, any coffee after like 2 o'clock, 2 p.m., and I suffer from insomnia. And that took a while for me to figure out. When we first really got into deep ketosis, I was like, man, I did a couple videos on it. I was really struggling with the insomnia. And a lot of our viewers recommended a few different things, but one of them was cut out, the coffee. And I was like, even 2 p.m. And they were right. If I don't have coffee after around 2 o'clock, I sleep really well. And also, when I first started the diet, each time I started it, you dump all those fluids. You're going to the bathroom quite a bit. I would have to get up, in the middle of the night. But once that calms down after about, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, then I don't get up throughout the night and have to urinate. But when you're first dumping all the, it doesn't matter if it's daytime, nighttime, you're going to be, in the bathroom quite a bit, whether you're at work or at home in bed. So if you're just starting the carnivore diet, be prepared for that. I talk to a lot of people and they go through that. So Dave, how about you, bud?
I'm on mute. I'm sleeping better too. And yeah, probably I never have to get up to pee in the middle of the night anymore. So but I do think that a lot of that has to do with no longer drinking alcohol. Because that drinking the alcohol was a nightmare. You'd be up and down all the time. All right, we have a question
Back when I
here.
drank alcohol, I just peed in the bed. I'm
Go
just
on now.
messing with y'all.
Nice. Lovely. Oh no.
He just says,
Okay,
screw
I'm
it.
lost for words. So Afi is asking, have any of you tried taking exogenous ketones to break a stall? Anyone tried exogenous ketones?
I haven't, man. I've heard Dr. Berry mention them quite a few times, talking about how they're not really that effective. So I just early on, I guess I was just blessed to make it into there and hear a lot of the fringe topics early on, that I didn't get sidetracked on some of that stuff. I'm not saying they don't. I have no idea. I'm just from what I've heard. I haven't. I mean, hopefully they will. Hopefully they will break your stall if that's what you're trying.
Yeah, I've never tried them, and yeah, I've never heard of anyone using them and having success. But yeah, That's Larry.
I'd add to that. No, I've never tried that, but we were talking about a stall earlier. We've had a ton of people in our community go through a stall, whether it's a month, 6 months. We even had a couple people 2 years. Our last weight loss challenge, they well in April they were able to break their stall with BBBE, and it's really important to just focus. Here's what I did. I just focused on how I feel. Kip talked about your body could be healing, you could be gaining muscle. I mean, when I was in my stall, I had all kinds of great, advice and what it might be from our community. But what got me through it is just focusing on how good I feel. If I get frustrated and say, what, I have not lost weight in a year, yeah, it's time for a Big Mac. It's time for a Whopper. I would feel horrible, and that's what I tried to concentrate on, was just how good I feel. Because sometimes we get lost, on the scale. We want to see that sucker move, and I do believe your body is healing. A lot of times a stall will happen. So I've talked to so many people about it. Your body's correcting issues internally that it has, but maybe you're making mistakes or whatever. But just focus on how you feel. But as far as those ketones, no, I have never tried that.
I'd add too, whenever I was growing up, I used to watch the Crocodile Hunter, and you see all those different animals that he be jumping on their back, and you see all these different animals out there in the wild watching that show. But I never seen one that took exogenous ketones. So I don't think that if animals didn't need it or they don't need all that stuff, I really don't think that we need it as well.
Good point, Kim.
If he gets any of that in my eye, I will go blind. What is it? What was his name? What was it? Rick Irwin? Yeah. Steve Irwin, that's it.
Steve Irwin. Yeah. Good Australian accent there, Sean. Nice.
I learned mine from Crocodile Dundee, though, back in the day.
Okay.
That's not a knife. This a knife.
It's a knife. Yeah. So Pastor James is asking, how long until the joint pain goes away on carnivore? So how long until your shoulder pain went away, Kip?
About a week and a half, 2 to 2 weeks, something like that. And I just woke up one day and I felt it being a lot better. And then every day after that, it just got better and better. And probably within 2, maybe 3 weeks, it was just completely gone.
Nice. Sean, did you have joint pain?
I had gout. Yeah, so I had gout, and I had it was extremely bad. And after, I guess, probably 3 or 4 months, I came off of all my gout medication, the colchicine and the allopurinol. And I've had one attack, I think, or I call it an attack. It wasn't like an attack that I would have had before, but it was after I was running an obstacle course and went to jump over something, and it had been raining. My foot slipped and I landed funny on it, and it got swollen and hot like a gout flare up. So I do say that, but I haven't taken any gout medication. And my uric acid levels are down, and slightly. I think they're between like 5, 6, right in that area. Usually around real close to a 6. But I haven't had a gout flare up, and I've been eating a lot of red meat. So the joints were great. The only exception to that rule that I would say is about 5 to 6, maybe 7 months in, I had to take a hard look at black pepper. I had not even added coffee back in at the time, and I used black pepper all the way up. I'd put black pepper, salt, and on the steaks, and I wouldn't even add garlic for a long time. It was like a treat if I added any kind of minced garlic or something like that. But I started getting joint pain after like I said, 5, 6 months. And I could not figure it out for the longest time until I cut the black pepper, because I heard somebody talking about the oxalates, black pepper being 20 times higher in oxalates than even white pepper. And so I cut it out, and I didn't have an issue with it. Now, I do still have it occasionally now, for sure. It's mixed in with this seasoning that I use. But overall, I don't eat it anything like I did. I'm not piling the pepper on, stuff like that, because I had some severe joint pain, and it was weird to me because I hadn't changed anything in 6 months, and you had to revisit it. And as I was talking with these guys about, the only thing I could figure out is that my system was getting cleaned out, and it got to the point to where even something like pepper would affect my system. And it was causing my joints to hurt. So it just goes to show you something may not affect you the same way the entire process. You got to be an investigator and mindful. So sorry about that. I'm rambling, but what about you, Larry? Joint pain?
I realized when everything stopped hurting. I mean, I remember looking in the cupboard and seeing that bottle of ibuprofen that Cassie and I would constantly dive into. I was taking 16 to 20 ibuprofen a day when I was 354 pounds. I was always hurting, especially when I first woke up. And I did a couple of videos on this specifically, and it was maybe 45 days, maybe between day 45 and 60. I yelled across the house to Cassie, like, when's the last time you took some ibuprofen? And she's like, I don't know. So it was somewhere between 30 and 60 days. Completely stopped taking ibuprofen, which Dave mentioned it earlier. Like some of those benefits just sneak up on you, and you realize it. And that was one of ours. Was we hadn't bought a new bottle of ibuprofen in 2 months, and man, we were going through it. You know those big bottles you get from Walmart. Those of you who are in the States, the big dual pack. We were eating them like candy. So, but yeah, it just Pastor James. Most people I've talked to, it doesn't take long. So if you're still hurting, I hope you get some relief. Dave?
Yeah, for me, I think it snuck up on me, but the arthritis in my knee maybe went away in about 2 or 3 months. But yeah, it was one of those things. It was so gradual. When I eventually was kind of feeling like I wanted to run, it was like, hang on, what happened? And then I had to literally retrace my steps over the last few weeks and think about, wow, this has been improving. Yeah, so I hope you get some relief, Pastor James.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you, Dave? Because
Yeah.
that Instagram reel you did where you're jumping off the stairs. So when you first started carnivore, you could not do that because your knee.
Yeah, I mean, even I couldn't do it then, and I couldn't have done it even before the arthritis. I couldn't have done it 10 years ago because of the lack of stability I had between the two sides of my body, or the lack of balance, or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the fact, like when you look at it, you think, who's this nearly 50-year-old guy, arsing around on the stairs? But for me, that's such a big thing, Yeah. So Dean is asking, how much does each of you eat a day? I range from 400 to 800 grams of beef a day. So 800 grams of beef is probably it's somewhere between 1.5 and 2 pounds of beef. So where do you guys sit when you think about your beef consumption?
I'm about 2 to 2.5 pounds probably. I mean, sometimes if I feel like I want some more, I'll pack a little bit more bacon in there, but it's probably about 2.5 pounds.
Yeah, same. 2 pounds more than I think. I would say 2 pounds, but I've noticed over the last probably 3 or 4 weeks that what I want to eat is growing more and more. So like last night or night before, I ate 2 ribeyes in one sitting, which I normally don't do. Usually it's a ribeye, maybe a ribeye and a half. But yesterday or not before, it was two, and I had eggs, and I think I also had some pork rinds just because my body was telling me you need something to eat, dummy, go get something, and so I did. I listened to it.
Larry.
Well, recently it's been basically like 5 eggs, 4 or 5 pieces of bacon, early afternoon, and then maybe a pound of beef in the evening. That's typically what I eat with a lot of butter. I put butter on everything, and sometimes I eat a little more beef, but that's about right. Kip?
I already answered it. Did you
My bad.
answer, Dave?
Okay, so for me, I'm at about 600 grams of beef, so that's about a pound and a half, and on top of that, 10 eggs. So yeah,
10 eggs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, that would be cool. Like, I wonder if we could eat like 50 eggs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do some. That's going to be one video that I do too. I guess about the time I get my egg video out, I'll make one of me eating a challenge to do like eating 50 eggs in one sitting or something. I guarantee. I
in
don't know,
one
something weird
sitting,
like that.
in one
Yeah,
sitting.
dude, 50 eggs ain't nothing. I mean, there ain't no way.
I could do 50 eggs in a 6-hour sitting. I think. Yeah, I'd be eating
6
pretty slowly.
hours?
Yeah, you'd get pretty full, no?
We need to
Mm,
have Sean do that on the live stream one night.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Man, if I had 50 eggs, I would do it right now. I promise you. I'm hungry right now for some reason. Just talking about eggs and steak all night. I'm ready to go eat.
I don't think
We-
you could
we
do
should-
50.
What are the parameters of that though? Is like 50 scrambled eggs? Because I reckon 50 boiled eggs would be a bit harder.
Oh, dude, I would barf if I had to have 5 boiled eggs, like regular straight boiled eggs. The chalkiness of that yolk, it tastes like I'm eating chalk or something. I can't do it. That's why I've always mixed. But I had deviled eggs. I would mix butter and hot water and salt with it, and make my eggs that way. Because if I bite into a boiled egg with that chalky, nasty, whatever that thing is, yolk in the middle, like I can't eat. I probably couldn't do 2. Tops.
I don't even think you could eat 30.
You don't think I could eat 30 eggs?
Yeah, I don't think you would.
Man, I'm about to try this tonight. 50 eggs.
This is a live stream. The the cholesterol live stream. This is
Yeah. You see how much I'm worried about cholesterol.
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna try it.
I love
I'm trying
eggs,
it.
so it's not like I would give it a try. Yeah.
I promise you, I'm gonna try it this week. I'll have my wife film it.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
The next live stream that we do, we should all just have our plate of 50 eggs sitting here while we're in between answering questions. See
Yeah,
who-
Gabe, hey, there you go. We gonna put it out there. Anybody, if you want to see the egg challenge between the 4 of us, 50 eggs next Friday night, us 4. You got to put it in the comments. If we get at least 50 comments on each channel, we'll do it next week
Can we
live
do
right
it the
here.
next Friday after that? Because next Friday I have that service I have to go to.
Oh yeah, well no, we do it. We switch the day, man. We're doing Saturday.
That's fine. If y'all are able to do it Saturday, I can do it Saturday.
Yeah, man, we're gonna do it Saturday. We're gonna switch. You got services to go to. That's primal. That's main thing. As long as everybody can do it. But yeah, next show we doing.
Cool.
That's cool.
Nice. Yeah, so everybody remember comments on the video or in the live stream now or something like that if that's something that you're interested in seeing. So Carnivore Scott, thank you very much for the super chat. Hat Night, I
thanks,
see. I missed the memo. Nice. Okay, so Aaron. Hello, Aaron. Aaron from the Kilby Live. He is asking, I have sired 8 children on a sad diet. Should I be concerned on carnivore? Also, no hemorrhoids named or unnamed for 17 months. P.S. Don't answer this. Okay, that is the question of the night, I think. That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is funny.
That's funny. Bod XO. I'm lucky to live near free range farms in England and I'm eating lamb, heart, and liver too. Do you guys eat organ meat for the extra nutrition? They seem to contain vitamin C and K. Seems optimal. Sean, are you into organs?
I'm not against them. I just don't eat them. Honestly, I really don't. I no. You get vitamin C at the levels which you need it in the meat, even though people don't think about it. I've heard people talk about it many times over. And somebody asked about the scurvy last time, but no, I don't eat the organ meats, and my levels are fine. But more power to you if that's your thing. I'm not against it. Kipp, what about you, man?
I'm reading the question because I wasn't paying attention.
Organ meats. You did an organ meats?
I'm not scared of organ meats. Like whenever I went to the Brazilian steakhouse, they had like heart and stuff like that, so I ate it. And so, like, I'm a country boy. I'm not scared of different kind of meats. But I mean, I don't go out of my way going to go find organ meat to cook it or whatever. I'll eat it, but like, I don't gotta have it. What about you, Larry?
I'm a fan of beef liver. I like beef liver, ideally a couple times a week. I personally do feel a little better when I consume it, and I really like it fried in bacon grease and really crispy. Before we cooked it like that, I did not like beef liver at all. So if you're having a hard time with it, maybe give that a try. Because a lot of people, really don't dig how beef liver tastes. So it's very earthy. It's almost got like a metallic taste to it, but you try different ways of cooking it. Maybe you'll find something that works for you. But yeah, I enjoy it. Dave, you eating the liver?
No, I've had calf's liver a couple of times over the years, but I'm not really into it. If someone was cooking it for me, I would probably eat it, but I'd be worried about undercooking it or doing something wrong and poisoning myself. So yeah, I give it a miss. So we're getting quite a few people saying we should go ahead with the egg challenge. That's a good sign.
You know
All right.
about that egg challenge. I think it was the Liver King I saw on Instagram or somewhere. I don't know how he popped up too. I don't follow that dude, but he had like 100 shot glasses of eggs, and he was boom, boom, boom doing them. I think he
Yeah.
had like 60 something raw eggs, just downing them. So is that what you're talking about, Sean? Doing like, or are you just talking about eggs?
I'm gonna get.
However,
I'm gonna. I don't care how they get eat. Like, I mean, if my wife would do eggs over easy, if she'll do me like 50 eggs over easy, which she probably won't, she'll probably do 50 scrambled eggs for me. But like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not eating no 50 boiled eggs. I'd rather go back. That'd probably be the only thing. If I had to eat more than one boiled egg, that'd probably be the only thing that made me go back to the sad diet. I ain't doing it. No, I'm just kidding. No.
I think we'd have a hard time eating 30.
I think
mean,
You
so
think
too.
so?
Yeah, I think we'd be wasting food if we cooked 50 eggs. I just don't think it's possible.
You neither.
I mean, it's possible, but for us, normal, we're not competitive eaters. Yeah, that's a lot of food, man. 30 eggs.
Mm,
Well, I don't
But
know.
I'm gonna try it.
I think it's a lot of eggs, but I'm also kind of thinking, well, if it's only the eggs, like there's no meat involved, then
Yeah.
it feels a bit lighter to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think if you're eating 2 pounds of 2 to 2.5 pounds of ribeye, dense and heavy as a ribeye steak with all that fat is. Like, I wonder how. I mean, 50 eggs. I don't know, man. Maybe it is impossible. I don't. I think I can do it.
50 eggs is more than you think.
I know it is. I wish I had it right now. I would eat all of that right now if I had it.
They already think I'm crazy at the supermarket. The amount of eggs that I buy, like stocking up for this challenge would
So-
make them brick.
So this week you gonna buy twice as many as you know.
Yeah, they'd be looking at me like, You don't need 50 packs of eggs. What's going on?
What's wrong with this bloke? No, I'm
This
just kidding.
guy's stocking up like there's going to be another earthquake or something.
Right.
So,
That's hilarious.
so, Bella, thank you so much for the super chat. Sorry, later hat night. $50 for 50 eggs. I'm so there.
Oh,
Thank you so much,
awesome.
Bella. That's very
Thank you,
kind of
Bella.
you.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, what have we got? We got a couple of questions left, and then I think that's probably us. We've been going for 90 minutes, so
Yeah.
nice session. So, Carnivore Queendom, when do you all recommend to start body recomp in the gym? What do you think, guys? Who wants to take that one first?
It's hard to say. Go ahead, buddy.
I'll just say I'm probably at the point where I should be doing it right now. I see Ocon Dragon in the chat on our channel, and he's been pushing. He's a long time subscriber. He's been pushing me to start lifting a little, just doing something a little different. And I've lost 100 pounds, and it's probably time I get in there and just do a little bit. It couldn't hurt. I'm not a big fan of it. I lifted weights in high school. Been a long time. But, it's when I first started, there's no way I was going to go in the gym. There's no way. It's like eat your carnivore diet, lose some weight. And I think, you'll know when you're ready, to start making that move. So, Sean, you going to hit the gym, buddy?
Man, I've been talking about it. My good friend Zach, he been talking to me about going with me and my son, going and lifting with him and his son, and like making a thing of it. And I need to. I probably should have already started. I don't even know what to do with myself anymore. But I would say, and a lot of people don't feel this way, but for me, my plan was to get close to where my ideal weight was before I started doing anything like that. Even Kipp, I got to give Kipp props because I was out walking at, whenever I was over 400 pounds, but out there jogging, not me, son. Like, me and my brother talked about it. He was in many times over, and I was like, he's like, don't start running and overdoing it, overexerting. I mean, even walking, as much as I was walking, I was already sore in my legs and stuff. And I was scared that like running on with that much weight, I was going to hurt myself at over 400 pounds, because of the joint damage and everything else. Your risk for injury obviously goes up. Is it wrong? No. But my plan and what I suggest to people is to wait till you get closer. I'm not saying you got to be at your goal weight before you start, but wait until you get closer, because you start building muscle and recomping and doing stuff in the gym, and you're putting on that muscle, and you're also trying to lose that weight. It looks like you're not losing anything, but really you're recomping, and it can be discouraging for some folks. Not everybody, but more power to whoever does it, does that.
I'd say for me too, when I first started, I kind of had this thought in my head that like I wanted to stay out of the gym until I get down to about 350. That's the number I kept telling myself, because I was like 486 in January. I was like, once I hit 350, then I'll start kind of going to the gym or whatever, as long as I feel right. I mean, I feel like I'm at a point right now that I could probably start going, but for right now, I'm just holding off and doing the little walking thing and jogging. And now, whenever I jog, a lot of people think that I'm like out there like going full blast and all that stuff. Like I like it. It's a super slow jog, and I do like little little spurts. Like I'll jog for a little bit, and then I'll stop and walk for a while and jog for a little bit. And I've just been enjoying it. But I know that there's those risks like Sean was talking about, and I've been weighing those risks if I should continue doing it. Right now, it's just hard to stop because it's weird. My body's just telling me to move, and my body's enjoying it whenever I do it. What about you, Dave?
I feel like anything like this, you should take it in stages, and just your body will kind of tell you when you're ready to do it. Like, the first thing is your body's going to feel more compelled to like walk and then perhaps jog or maybe do some push-ups and all this kind of thing. But one thing that I've found is like with carnivore, like your body automatically it does kind of change on its own, like you are going to start putting muscle on without having to do anything. And once you feel like that muscle is coming on, I think that's the time where you feel where it's probably a good idea to think about, maybe I'll go into the gym and take advantage of this now. When you see those muscle gains coming on naturally. But yeah. So guys, we've now been on for an hour and a half, and I think that's probably a good time to say sayonara right now for another week. Thank you so much to everyone who joined, and thank you to these wonderful gentlemen for all coming together. Sean, did you have any final things you wanted to say?
Oh man, as always, thank everybody for showing up. Everybody, if you don't mind, everybody on your way out, share the video, like it, leave us a comment, tell us about what you think about the egg thing. Encourage these people, these guys right here. Leave a message, tell them how much you appreciate them and everything, and we appreciate you and love you guys too. I want to tell you guys how much I appreciate meeting with you every Friday night. I love you guys, and it means a lot to me, and it's encouraging to hang out and talk and chat and share the journey together, man. And I appreciate you guys and look forward to the next time. So thank you, and we'll see everybody next time. Kipp, you got anything?
I mean, honestly, I'll just kind of say a little bit of what you were saying. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys taking time out of y'all's busy schedules and meeting and hanging out and talking carnivore. It's like I've been enjoying it because like we're pretty chill in here and we just have a good time. And we're gonna continue to bring a few different people on every now and then to hang out with us. Like we would like to get Bob on and a couple other people. Of course, we can't have 10 people in the chat at one time, but it's really good to hang out with y'all and everything. And I hope everyone enjoyed the chat tonight. I enjoyed it. What about you, Larry?
As always, anytime I join you guys, I have a blast. It's really a highlight of my week to hang out with like-minded people. You three fellas and everybody here in the community. And I'd encourage anybody or everybody who, no matter what channel you're watching on, check out the other channels because we're all at a different point in our journey. And we all have, something of value that maybe you could learn from. So it's been great. And I'd like to do a plug real quick for the 8% of the people who are going to watch all the way to the end. We have a video coming out at 9 a.m. in the morning. It's an awesome edit. You guys will really dig it. It's a recipe review on carnivore pizza. Please check it out. And you guys, I love y'all. I really appreciate you having me here with you. And Dave, you want to close us out, my man?
Yeah, cheers, guys. Again, thank you so much for coming together, taking time out of your schedules. Thank you, everyone, for watching, tuning in, comments, super chats, super stickers. And we're looking forward to seeing you again. And let us know about the 50 egg challenge. Cheers, guys. See ya. Bye.
Take care.